Hey everyone, welcome back to my Britney Spears week. We have reached the end. This is the final day, day 7. So back on day 1 when I was reviewing Private Show, it was that day that I finally found an online retailer that sold Fantasy in Bloom, and I ordered it and I requested like really fast shipping, and I was really hoping that it would be here for day 7, but it's not. So, I don't have that for review today, but don't worry, my Britney fragrance collection is vast and endless, so I have brought together a few sort of hidden gems in the Britney collection. I have 3 fragrances that I'm actually going to be telling you guys about today. Now, they are not new Britney fragrances, they are all special anniversary editions or commemorative editions as part, sort of like collector's pieces. Not new ones, so it won't be a new review today, but it will be a Britney video, and so I just wanted to show you guys those different pieces and just sort of tell you about their inspiration and why Britney made them and what they're all about. Okay, so the first one I want to show you is actually this one right here. So the original Fantasy fragrance came out in 2005, and in 2015 Britney decided to release a special 10-year anniversary collector's edition for the Fantasy fragrance. So that's the one that I'm going to show you first. So this is Fantasy Anniversary Edition. So we have our traditional Fantasy design on the box with the triangle and the crazy swirls. This time we have some black and gold incorporated into the color scheme. And then on the side of the box, we have a picture of the bottle, which I'll show you in a moment. And on this side of the box, we have a special message from Britney that I'm going to read to you guys. So it reads, 10 hugs and 10 kisses to my sweet scented fans for a decade of love. You are my inspiration. XOXO, Britney. Also included on the box are names of a whole bunch of her fans, and I actually entered this competition back in, I guess it was 2014, or right before the packaging was made. All you really have to do is give your name and where you're from, and your name may appear on the packaging. So there's names all along the side here and also on the inside of the box. Like they're really tiny. There's hundreds and hundreds. Every part of the box has different names inside and out. So I disassembled this entire box, very carefully of course, to get like all the different names, and I took like a magnifying glass and I was looking and looking and looking and looking. I could not find my name, so I do not appear on the packaging, unfortunately. But I think it was still a really like sweet idea of her to do that, so some lucky fans may have got their name printed on the box. So this is the 100 milliliter bottle, and you can also get it in 50 milliliters and 30. And this is the bottle. So it is a dark, solid black with nice gold jewels going all around the bottle. There aren't very many colors left that the Fantasy family hasn't already sort of incorporated, so black was one of the sort of last remaining ones. And on the side of the bottle, this is sort of the true sort of charm of the bottle. So we have a message from Britney, similar to the one that was on the box, written on the bottle. So it's always nice to kind of keep this. I like to put it next to all the fantasies with the message written there. It says, to my sweet scented fans for a decade of love. So it's definitely something that a collector would really enjoy. I really love having this one, and if you are a collector of the Britney fragrances, you definitely need to get this one in your collection. Now, just to clarify, this of course is the original Fantasy fragrance. There's nothing new about it. It just is the same Fantasy from 2005, just in a different bottle. So it does smell exactly the same as the original. So there was no advertisement made for the anniversary edition, but there was an ad made for this next one. So I'm now going to tell you guys about Fantasy Stage Edition. This is the ad that she sort of put together of past images. Stage Edition was a special bottle that was sort of commemorating her live performances, one in particular that we're going to get into detail in a moment. So the advertisement has images of Britney from some of her most iconic live performances. as well as Fantasy Stage Edition written at the top and a picture of the bottle. There's a little message there that says your favorite fantasy fragrance plus a limited edition bottle. So a little bit different. We have the triangle in the center. Gone are the swirls. We have this pattern here that I'm going to tell you about when we look at the bottle. On the side of the box it says, oh, it's the same thing that it says there. So this is the bottle for Fantasy Stage Edition. It is a yellow bottle with these silly little symbols kind of going all around the sides, different colors, and a bright magenta cap. Now, all of the colors, the symbols have a very specific sort of symbolism. Now, one of Britney's most iconic and memorable performances of her career is her 2001 MTV Video Music Awards performance where she sang I'm a Slave for You for the first time. So here's an image of Britney from that night way back in 2001. And if you look closely, you can see that on her chest we have these symbols, sort of like the little swirly bits there. Those are replicated right here on the bottle. So these swirls right there are exactly the same as the tattoos she was wearing. And if you look at her little booty shorts over here, we have that sort of butterfly fluttering around, and that is the same that's on the bottle right there. And the bottle, of course, isn't just a yellow color. If you look at it closely, it is snake scales, yellow snake scales, which of course are to represent banana, which is the name of the Burmese python, the yellow Burmese python that she wore, that she shared the stage with during the performance. So I thought that was really a cool idea, just to create a bottle that is a sort of representation of a specific performance. And of course it does smell exactly like the original Fantasy, it is just the commemorative stage edition. That one does come in a larger size. I really wanted a bigger bottle because it's such a beautiful kind of piece, but I could only find the 30 ml. But you know, that's okay. So the next special edition Fantasy I'm going to tell you about is called Fantasy Twist. So this is Fantasy Twist. It is a very strange looking bottle, but it's a very interesting kind of piece to her collection. It's actually two fragrances in one. The bottom portion is the original Fantasy, and the top portion is Midnight Fantasy. So what you have to do, there's like a little part here that you can grab and then pull them apart. And then we have the individual sprayers. So you can spray Fantasy and you can spray Midnight Fantasy. So they always remain separate and they go back together. So it's just a way of having both of the fragrances, sort of a small amount of each that you can carry with you if you really can't, make up your mind of which Fantasy you want to wear. It also comes with a little charm of a curious heart with a little pink diamond that you can remove. This is the 50 milliliter bottle, which means you get 25 milliliters of Midnight and 25 milliliters of the original. It comes in 100 milliliter, which means you'll get 50 of each, and I did see a 30 milliliter to get 15 of each if you want just like a smaller portion. The box for this one is right here. So it's a clear box so you can kind of see the bottle sitting in there. We have pink on the side representing Fantasy, purple on this side for Midnight, a mix of both on the top. And we have an advertisement for this fragrance. It is actually on the back of the box. Okay guys, I need to show you something that is hilarious or tragic, I'm not really sure. So if you watched my earlier videos this week, namely my Island Fantasy video, I showed you the ad for Island Fantasy, which was this image of Britney. And I sort of criticized it because it was she reused her ad for Cosmic Radiance for Island Fantasy. And I was really hoping that we were finally done with this image, but in Fantasy Twist Around, you'll see the ad, and we have a very familiar image, yet again, Britney Spears. Just cannot get enough of this image. This is the third time she's used it for a fragrance. Hopefully it's the last. So of course we have our very memorable and wonderful image of Britney with the Fantasy Twist bottle right next to her. I think I solved the mystery of what Oops, I Did It Again is really about. She was foreshadowing her use of this ad 15 years later. Okay guys, here we go. Here is all three of the Britney over-the-shoulder white bra advertisement that she is obsessed with, and let's just lay it to rest finally. We enjoyed it, we loved it, but it's time to move on with our lives. Alright guys, I think it's time to wrap up the video. So this of course is the last video of my Britney week. I had a wonderful time doing these videos. Thank you to everyone who watched all 7 of them. I hope you really enjoyed them. I hope it helped you get a better understanding of all the Britney fragrances and helped you in picking which one is right for you. Or maybe you want all of them, that's okay too. And don't worry, because Fantasy in Bloom is on her way here. Hopefully I'll have it by next week. And I'm still looking to find VIP, the new private show one that I haven't been able to find. So there will be more Britney videos in the future, and I'm happy to announce that Britney just announced her next fragrance. It is called Sunset Fantasy, and it's coming out for spring of next year, so I will be on top of that. So there'll be more Britney videos to come, but this is the end of the week, so I hope you guys really enjoyed that, and thank you again for watching. And I will see you shortly with some new non-Britney, but then again, more Britney fragrance reviews.